This week on UND Insider Weekly, women's hockey hits the road as they head to St. Cloud State in hopes of cruising along in the WCHA. The men return back to the Rouse to face off against the nation as they play the U.S. Under-18 team. Assistant Coach Dane Jackson joins the Coach's Corner to talk about the start of the season and familiar foe St. Cloud State coming to Grand Forks this weekend. Ronni Munkeby collected her 1,000th kill as volleyball continues to run rampant through the Big Skies. They took down Montana and Montana State this week. And volleyball's own Naomi Dahl lost her mom when she was only a teenager. Now she's using her experience to raise awareness for the same disease that took her mother away. All this week on UND Insider Weekly. And welcome to UND Insider Weekly alongside Tom Miller and Brad Schlossman from the Grand Forks Herald, Paul Ralston from UND Athletics. Sans costume, Paul. What's up with that? We thought you were going to have one today.
I'm sorry I disappointed everyone.
You got nothing, do you?
No, I have nothing.
He came back with nothing. Let's go right away to women's hockey last week at home. It was a series that I think everyone considered, or they were on the road, excuse me, at St. Cloud State. Thought that they'd probably be able to handle St. Cloud State, but the Husky team makes it difficult, as a lot of teams are going to. Brad, what can that team do? They won both games. What can they do about opening things up a little bit, because everybody's just clogging in?
Yeah, and when their goaltender plays well, they can be tough to score on. The first night, their goalie played really well, but UND's all-world player, Michelle Carvinen, scores 2 goals. One of them was late in the third period that helped them win that one. The second night, their goalie didn't play so well and got pulled, and the score was reflected there, a 6-1 win. So they need really good goaltending to beat teams like North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and when they get it, they can be in the game, and when they don't, there's no chance.
It's one of those deals where they have to win the games that they should win in that league, because when you get down to those top 2 or 3, those are going to be tough sledding, huh?
Well, there's no doubt that you have to take care of business when you have the advantage, and Coach Dulce's team here in the last couple of years has done a better job of that, and certainly they've realized just the importance when they from missing out or from seeding from previous years. And you look at the games ahead. Bemidji State, that's going to be somehow the Beavers always play North Dakota tough here, and you look at the schedule ahead, they only have limited non-conference games, so series like this, you just can't afford to give anything away.
And on top of that, in February, they're going to be losing a bunch of players to the Olympics, and they need to win as many games now before they lose Michelle Carvinen and Susanna Tapani and some of those players, so that makes these games extra important.
Got a lot of great players here. Michelle Carvinen, where's she going to sit when her career is over with?
We were kind of waiting for this weekend a little bit, being, we talked about she was the best player on the ice a couple different times, didn't have as many points to show for it. I think Megan Dufault and Josephine Jakobsen were getting a lot of the points early, but this weekend Carvinen kind of got what we saw coming a little bit.
She'll be the 3rd best player ever to play here when she's done.
You're going to put her behind the Twins?
Yes, I think behind those two, then her, and they got a couple of young players who may be in that mix soon.
I don't think that the numbers really tell the whole story about the Twins when it's all over, do you?
No. Their impact goes far beyond their goals and points, which will not be matched either. So,
let's talk about the men a little bit. They came home to face the U18 team, wore their pink jerseys or the pink outline on the jerseys, which, by the way, would have looked better with the black helmets, black breezers. Would you agree?
Paul's the fashion expert.
Yeah, good point. Paul likes the pink too.
I honestly, I just think it's a great cause, and I just commend the UND men's hockey team for kind of going forward with this, and the McMillan brothers to really spearhead it, and I think it's great. Fashion faux pas or not, like I say, you tip your cap to the program and all the programs, but especially men's hockey for getting involved. I think that's a great cause.
Strange game. I thought that the skill level of the U.S. team certainly showed in the first period, the speed of the game, and there were a lot of highly skilled players there. They're going to go on and play in college. Second period had the Drake Kajula incident, which, by the way, he's okay. But I thought that UND got a little adrenaline shot from that. But then after that, I think the air kind of went out of the bubble for it, and we were just kind of playing to get it over with at the end, don't you think?
Yeah, they had a pretty comfortable lead, and I think they were just, I don't know, Rocco Grimaldi said his mind was a little bit, he was really concerned. Him and Drake are good friends, and so he was at that point wondering what was happening with Drake. But they dominated the second period, and the game was over at the end of the second period, essentially.
What do you think we saw, Tom? What do you think we learned? What did you learn?
Well, like Brad said, the game really changed when Drake went down with an injury. So it's kind of hard to tell how much you can learn from a game where maybe the drive kind of disappears a little bit in the second half of that game.
I think what really catches my eye a little bit was Mitch McMillan and whether or not he won himself a spot in the lineup for this weekend against St. Cloud State.
Yeah, that's true. A couple of those guys are battling for lineup spots. The other thing that I thought we learned is that Brendan O'Donnell isn't slowing down, so that's really good news for UND.
I guess the one thing that I read that I took away that seemed to make everyone smile is that Colton Sanderson, everybody took a great pride when he had an opportunity to put a puck in the net, and it obviously shows that the team really rallies around a player that comes to work every day, and that was probably a pretty good scene at the Ralph.
I think it's something too that people probably don't realize, Brad. I think you guys have been at enough practices and that type of thing, but the kid comes out there every single day, works just as hard as anybody else, and doesn't get much of a chance to play, and he ended up playing well and not played for a year.
Yeah.
Volleyball team lost at Northern Arizona a while back, but came home this week, had the Montanas, Montana State, and they swept them both 3-0. Ronni Munkeby with 7 kills in the Saturday afternoon, gave her over 1,000 for her career. Do you think that Northern Arizona game kind of put them back in their place a little bit, refocused them a little, or what do you think?
I think that certainly a loss like that for a veteran team can kind of get you refocused for the second half of the conference season. I think that's exactly what it did. I just also think that the Big Sky Conference has some good teams, especially on their home courts, and when you're kind of traveling around in this big, vast conference that is the Big Sky Conference, you might have an off night, and a very good program may have a very good night, and that's kind of what happened there. Credit to UND, Coach Hardy and his team for getting after Montana right away. They didn't even give them a moment's opportunity to breathe on Thursday night and ended that match really quite quickly. And then to move on to Saturday to see Ronni get her 1,000th kill. Coach Hardy takes a timeout, allows the crowd and Ronni and the team to celebrate it. I thought that's a special moment. And those are moments that are helping build kind of this culture around the program. I think they're heading in the right direction again.
I don't think she even knew she had her 1,000th kill, I think she said so.
Yeah.
Well, she had quite the fan section wearing shirts that said, "Float like a butterfly, sting like a monkey." Kind of want one of those shirts.
But great stuff.
Yeah, they had a good weekend, beating Montana State. Montana's a team that's above 500 in the league. It really shows that UND has kind of separated itself in the middle of the pack even and is in that upper echelon.
So they're looking at now Idaho State and Weber State, and it's kind of a trap weekend for them a little bit, because I know Idaho State's one of the top teams in the league, and Weber State's one that Coach Hardy has said all along is just for some reason you have one of those teams that gives you fits, and Weber State's one of them.
Weber State kind of plays a game that they have a coach that is very well established.
He was a men's coach, right?
Men's coach at one time, so they play a little different game. It's very fast-paced. They use their athleticism. The last time that they came here, they played a game where North Dakota didn't really play well defensively, but still just kind of used their offense, and it was kind of an offensive showcase between the two programs. So they're going to have to be on their toes in Ogden, Utah, against Weber State. Idaho State. It's going to be a showdown, so it's going to definitely can't look ahead from this weekend on the road.
Couldn't hear you either with that horn blaring. Oh, and the other thing, Emily Ashley had a great performance on Saturday afternoon as well, and on Thursday, and that bodes well for the volleyball team to get some other players in there, because they're not going to have some of these other gals next year.
Right. Well, and that came to play with Lexi Robinson being out with an injury this weekend, so. They're going to need somebody like an Emily Ashe and an Emily Thompson to step up and fill some of those hitting roles like Lexi had.
The football team has their work cut out for them in Northern Arizona this week after really another one of those kind of losses last weekend. They've suffered a loss in every way you can so far this season. I don't know what else can happen to that team. Talk a little bit about what that will do to a team who had a 10-0 lead through most of the game, and then saw 2 botch punts, which you figure maybe it happens once, twice, and it led to both those scores and ended up losing that game 14-10. Really tough.
Well, that's it's kind of wild, being that we came into the season and we talked about how they had a freshman snapper, that new role for him, true freshman punter. We were a little worried about how those snaps and punts might play out, and it takes until week 7 for this really to bite them, and it's too bad, because the offense, the defense, and special teams, one of those units just seems to not click on that given night. We've seen UND's offense roll against South Dakota State. We've seen the defense play well a couple games. Special teams have its day. Just haven't had their day on the right.
Yeah.
stay together.
Unfortunately, I blinked because I was trying not to, and you blink, and all of a sudden you have a block punt where one guy gets loose and is able to block it. And North Dakota's defense had a great day. Really making Portland State go the long ways the whole day, and then they had the short field. They score on that. And next time you have to punt the ball away, you realize there's a freshman snapper and a freshman punter, and I think the freshman punter got a little anxious, wanted to look upfield to see if they were sending the dogs again, and may have contributed to his drop, and all of a sudden the game turns on that moment, and it's just been one of those years. It's darn frustrating, and I know the players and the coaching staff all kind of look at each other like, what's the next thing that's going to happen? And unfortunately, on Saturday, that was the next thing that happened.
You got a guy named Bowman they got to contend with this weekend in Northern Arizona, too. That won't be anything easy, right?
No, the running backs of the Big Sky just keep cranking out good ones.
Well, coming up, he is the pride of Castlegar, British Columbia. Dane Jackson, assistant coach of the UND hockey team, joins the Coach's Corner to talk about hockey's start to the season.
I got my first hunting dog when I was 17. My passion for pheasant hunting has taken off ever since. One thing I really enjoy about pheasant hunting is it's an active sport. If you're serious about pheasant hunting, you're going to be out there working for the birds. The gear that's available today is going to make your hunt just that much more enjoyable. Watching my own dog work, being out there with my friends, congratulating a buddy on a good shot, those are all things that I really like about upland hunting. I'm Judd Geese, and I'm an upland hunting expert at Shields.
You're different today than yesterday. Yet, you're still a college hockey fan. Proud of national titles. Riveted with stories about the early days. Proud of the school's first big stage appearance. Excited knowing you compete among the game's elite. And recalling the recent reign over college hockey's best. The puck has dropped, and the NCHC has arrived. It's time. Get in the game.
Right now at Burger King, choose any 2 sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're craving a Whopper sandwich and an original chicken sandwich, an original chicken sandwich and a premium Alaskan fish sandwich, or a Whopper and another Whopper. Come in today and get any 2 for just $5. Only at Burger King, where taste is king. Right now at Burger King, choose any 2 sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're craving a Whopper sandwich and an original chicken sandwich, an original chicken sandwich and a premium Alaskan fish sandwich, or a Whopper and another Whopper. Come in today and get any 2 for just $5. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
Pick up a coupon for discounted tickets at Subway restaurants as North Dakota hockey takes the ice against St. Lawrence in the Subway Holiday Classic during Thanksgiving weekend.
UND Insider Weekly is sponsored by Shields, Gear, Passion Sports, by Burger King, where taste is king, and by The Ground Round.
Men's hockey resumes conference play when St. Cloud State pays a visit to the Ralph Engelstad Arena this weekend. Action starts Friday at 7:37, Saturday at 7:07. Get your tickets at the Ralph Engelstad box office or online at undsports.com. Men's hockey assistant coach Dane "The Lamplighter" Jackson is here in the Coach's Corner to discuss the upcoming series with St. Cloud State. You like that, don't you, Dane?
Oh, that's going a long ways back. I'm not the lamplighter anymore, I don't think.
Oh, I watch you in practice and shootouts. I'm not sure that you're not the lamplighter. You're the man.
I still have fun getting out there and fooling around with the boys, that's for sure.
Great start in Miami for your team, and a great start for you as a penalty-killing coach. Wow.
Yeah, it's been good. You know, there's still lots of things to work on, obviously, but we're happy with how our guys are, playing fast and playing hard. We're still kind of pinning down our structure so that we're kind of doing everything we want to do all the time, but we play a real aggressive style of penalty kill, so it's kind of controlled mayhem or chaos basically out there. We're really trying to force teams to make plays quickly under duress and not be able to have full possession a lot.
I know Schlotz was going to ask you about why did you allow that first goal against Vermont? Otherwise, it'd have been a perfect season so far.
Yeah, that was a tough start. That was the first penalty kill of the year. That's right. But kind of an unlucky bounce by us. But we've got some lucky bounces since then and some really good goaltending, which is always key on it. But it's been a good part of it. We just got to keep building and growing and kind of continue to have do a good job to help our team win.
So not all of the highest skill guys go on the penalty kill. You guys have a Steph Patton and a Colton St. Clair, and why do you guys put those guys on the penalty kill, and what attributes make them successful there?
Yeah, good question, Sloss. Actually, it's kind of a balance. Like sometimes we do, like last year we did have Danny Christo and Corbin Knight killing. So it is kind of nice to have guys that do have somewhat of a threat of offense when they do get the puck, but a lot of things we look for is having a good stick, like guys that have a good, strong, quick stick. Because a lot of times you'll get a puck and you got to win a battle and clear a puck in a short period of time. You don't have time to kind of get it and skate and have space to make a play. So it's real important that you have a strong stick that can knock down passes, win puck battles, and clear the puck. Our biggest thing probably is tenacity, though. Really, guys that work hard, compete, and can play at a high intensity level. Because when you're down a man already, it's real important that you're playing at a high level and competing real strongly in that short period of time that we ask our guys to go. We say, hey, we want you out there 20, 30, 35 seconds, really going at a high, hard pace, and that's kind of the biggest thing that we look for in guys that are PKing.
Well, it was your old coach here at UND, Gino Gasparini. His line was penalty killing's an attitude.
Yeah, Gino's a pretty smart guy, and that's what we talk about. We talk about mentality, attitude, just kind of going out there with a bit of a chip on our shoulder. We say all the glamour guys are PP guys and stuff like that, but us PKers, we got to, you got to play hard, you got to compete, you got to be willing to block shots, you got to be willing to, take a hard hit to clear the puck out. We kind of want to make it a war zone in front of our net where it's not fun to go there, and we always kind of have good fun, in practice when we're going against the PP guys that we're always blocking shots and diving around and trying to make it hard on them, and conversely make it a bit of a competition.
Dane, you guys don't have the big. You talk about making it hard to play with in front of the net. You don't have an Andrew McWilliam on this team. In fact, it's been many, many years, I think, since you haven't had a great big bruising defenseman. Well, how does that change things?
Yeah. Well, we do.
Or does it?
Yeah. Well, we think Gage Osmus will develop into that. He's a big body, and he's done a good job early on. But we changed things a little bit as far as trying to be a little more efficient. We got a lot of guys that are really good puck movers. And obviously Mac was an outstanding defender and playing D zone coverage and penalty killer. But we've been, some nice things that we've seen is how efficient our guys are going back to get pucks. If a team dumps it in, whether it be on the power play or regular strength, if we can get back there quickly, make a good little quick evasive move or a good little D-to-D and clear a puck, hopefully we're going to have to spend less time kind of, banging bodies in front of the net and just be a little more efficient getting the puck out. So it's actually, again, I think a lot of it kind of comes down to mentality. Troy Stetcher, not a big body, but he's a very competitive, kind of fiery guy, and you watch him play D-zone coverage, like he gets low when he gets in there, and he wins a lot of battles just by his quick stick and by his good use of his body. So there's different ways to defend. We've also found in this day and age, where a lot of times Mac, we felt, would step up and hammer a guy with a good solid check, but guys' gloves go flying off and it's a yard sale and everybody's kind of going crazy and the ref goes, oh, that must be a penalty. And it does somewhat limit their effectiveness in this day and age. We factor that in a little bit on our recruiting, that we do like guys that play strong and play hard, but the way the game is played now and the way the rules are called, it does limit that big, tough player's effectiveness somewhat.
St. Cloud State this weekend. Best of luck against them. Good. Thanks for being with us today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
UND Hockey Assistant Coach Dane Jackson. Still to come, one of the hardest things in life is to lose a parent to breast cancer. Even harder when you're still a kid. Volleyball's Naomi Dahl is helping raise awareness for the same disease that took one of hers.
Right now at Burger King, choose any 2 sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're craving a Whopper sandwich and an original chicken sandwich, an original chicken sandwich and a premium Alaskan fish sandwich, or a Whopper and another Whopper. Come in today and get any 2 for just $5. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
I started hunting with my brothers and my dad. Hunting for me is getting away from everything, just getting out into the country, to the quiet. I enjoy hunting with my son more than anything. Someday he'll have memories like I have of hunting with my dad. There's just no better feeling when a a customer says, you know, that gun you sold me last year worked perfect. That is, to me, what it's all about. I'm Leon Streifel, and I'm one of the hunting experts at Shields.
UND basketball season is almost here, featuring great matchups at the Betty. Purchase a big game plan and secure your seats on the most anticipated games. Get 4 big games for North Dakota men's basketball, including the NDSU game, for only $40. North Dakota women's basketball big game plan, including the game with NDSU, only $30 for 4 great matchups. Lock in your tickets today and get your big game plans online at UNDsports.com or purchase in person at the Ralph Engelstad Arena.
Right now at Burger King, choose any 2 sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're craving a Whopper sandwich and an original chicken sandwich, an original chicken sandwich and a premium Alaskan fish sandwich, or a Whopper and another Whopper. Come in today and get any 2 for just $5. Only at Burger King, where taste is king.
This Thursday, get to know the freshmen with an all-new episode of Through These Doors, presented by Shields. Catch the episode this Thursday at 9 on UNDsports.com, Friday at 6:30 on Midco Sports Network. Well, one of the hardest things to do in life is say goodbye to a parent forever. It can be even harder when you're just a kid. Naomi Dahl lost her mom to breast cancer when she was just a teenager. Now she's raising awareness for the same disease that took her mother.
When I was a freshman, I got to start varsity volleyball, and she never got to see me start on varsity. So that was one of the big things that really bothered me. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 14, and not even a year after that she passed away. My mom was kind of like the matriarch of the family, like she kept everybody together, so without her pulling on people to like get together for holidays and stuff, we all kind of had to come together and like everyone do their part in the family. She was like my #1 fan. She was pushing for me to like do more, to work up in volleyball and doing all the new things. You know, you have both of your parents around. It was just like my dad and I, and that was pretty tough not having her being a part of such a huge event in my life. I haven't done any campaigns. I know in high school we always did a Dig Pink night and things like that. And anytime I ever like go shopping or something, I see anything breast cancer awareness, I always buy it. No matter what it is, I always get it. They were really proud. They're really excited that I got to be like one of the faces of something that had affected us so much, and that I can help find a cure somehow. When you hear about cancer, to me, like you hear more about like breast cancer than any other cancer. So I think I'm glad that we are taking on like the biggest form of cancer to try and stop. People come out and support something that they might not even have been affected by, but are just doing it for like other people, and I thought it was huge that we have such a good fan base that comes out and supports us. I love that you can get like the message out there in such like a place like this. It can be heard from a lot of people, and it makes me feel better that I can talk about something like this openly with people and they can understand something about it.
You can donate to the North Dakota Strong campaign by going to UNDsports.com/NDstrong. Well, this panel has a lot on their mind, and we'll find out what they're looking forward to the most this coming week. Next on UND Insider Weekly.
UND Insider Weekly is sponsored by Shields, Gear, Passion, Sports, by Burger King, where taste is king, and by The Ground Round.
You're different today than yesterday. Yet, you're still a college hockey fan. Proud of national titles. Riveted with stories about the early days. Proud of the school's first big stage appearance. Excited knowing you compete among the game's elite. and recalling the recent reign over college hockey's best, the puck is dropped and the NCHC has arrived. It's time. Get in the game.
Pick up a coupon for discounted tickets at Subway restaurants as North Dakota hockey takes the ice against St. Lawrence in the Subway Holiday Classic during Thanksgiving weekend. Welcome back. Let's figure out now what the panel is looking forward to this week. A lot of different things to view and watch and listen to. What do you think, guys?
I'll go first. UND football team goes to Northern Arizona, faces one of the Big Sky's best running backs in Zach Bauman, and they saw another top 3 running back in DJ Adams against Portland State last week. Did a pretty decent job, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle that running back.
I'm going to go with UND women's basketball opening up their season Saturday against the University of Minnesota Crookston.
You just said that because Brew just walked
That's
by.
exactly right. I know how to work that system.
Right.
So. No, they kick off their campaign. They've got kind of a new younger player kind of operating the point guard. It's a role that they kind of need somebody to step up and kind of grab and lead the charge in that area of the floor for them this year. They've got a lot of nice wing players and bigs inside, so we'll see if that is where they want it to be here in the exhibition game on Saturday.
Wings and bigs inside. Didn't it used to be forwards and guards?
I think so.
Shalats, what are you looking for?
I'm looking forward to seeing the first official NCHC shootout. It is going to happen this weekend, I believe.
That's a prediction?
That's a prediction.
A bold and brazen one at that.
I think we're going to see a shootout. We'll see how it goes for the first time. And the team that wins it is going to love the shootouts. The team that loses it is going to think shootouts are a terrible idea. That's my prediction.
And then we're going to get into that thing on the points.
Yes.
Is it 3 points? Is it 2 points? Or you get 1 point? Very confusing. You like that?
Well, I'm used to it from the Women's League now, so I like that the Women's League, the NCHC, and the Big Ten are all the same, because when they're all different, then it gets even more confusing.
And I'm looking forward to the first ever NCHC game at Ralph Engelstad Arena with St. Cloud State this weekend. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it as always. And remember, if you would like to donate to the North Dakota Strong campaign, you can do so by going to undsports.com/ndstrong. Join us for a new episode of UND Insider Weekly next Wednesday. You can catch the episode at 8 o'clock on UNDsports.com and Friday at 5:30 on Midco Sports Net.